How many men do you think we are here?
10%.
That much? In today's episode, how do you do, interwebs? Welcome to Stories of My Life. So today, Wednesday, Stockholm, Sweden. I'm off to the theatre. We're having some fittings for some actors that are coming back or switching roles in February. No, this weekend. Oh, damn it. And also, I need to go by the post office or the equivalent of and get something. I forgot what it was. And also, in the evening, I'm meeting Martin. We are going to the suburbs and we are going to see a show about drinking. Yeah. I think he will feel sort of put on the spot. Martin will go, oh, this is about me. Yeah, because it's not about me. Because we are going out in the suburbs, I'm not going into the city on my bike because I'm meeting Martin in the city after work, and then we are getting on a train going far, 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 and then we get back. I don't want to go back into the city to get my bike. I just want to, because, you know, it's when you go to Hallunda, the suburb, it is, you pass my subway stop. So when I get back, I just not quite get past, it's a different line, but I have to walk about 1 kilometre, I think, something like that. But hey, when you live in a city, you walk a lot. Is it shoes? Coffee from the lovely Nathalie, and you have bought something.
Yes.
What?
A car.
You are absolutely insane, you are. And you need to get a driver's license, don't you?
Yeah, well.
If you wondered what I got this sort of bag from Kenzo's collaboration with H&M. And I think it's just big enough for my iPad, so I'm going to use it as an iPad cover. Nice, huh? So today is Chinese New Year's. So to celebrate that, I'm eating dumplings. Happy Chinese New Year. People, a star have arrived. He is straight off his world bus and truck tour to Germany.
Yeah.
How are you?
Listen, Germany was a challenge, I must say. Berlin was a challenge, but of course I made a great success, and I didn't get any tomatoes thrown at me.
Oh, that's unusual.
Something.
Yeah.
That's unusual. And on the other hand, I didn't get any flowers either, but the reviews were happy.
Yeah.
The director was
cut. People, it's time to get going. When the going gets rough, I go to Hallunda. Martin said he'd be here in 1 minute. So it's just time to say goodbye to Nata. Oh, she's not even here. Yes! How long were we on the subway?
How long we were there?
Yeah, how long?
Maybe 25 minutes. So now we are in the southern part of Stockholm.
We are far, far, far from the city. Now we are off to get something to eat. Here we go. Yummy, yummy, yummy. This was a great place. Falafel plate with French fries. And this is cookies, and all this is sort of, oh my God, you're in heaven. So here's mine.
Nathalie?
Look at that. Bread. I'm in heaven right now. This was so good. This was really good. Now, off to the next. Okay, people, here we are, Riksteatern Hallunda. We're gonna have fun. Well, possibly, I don't think it's fun. I think it's about alcoholism, so that's why I brought Martin, and he will have an awakening and really sort of realize that, you know, what's happening is whoever does the posters is doing a great job. Because, except that one that looks like something an insurance company would do, but there's a piano in the woods. What's the piano doing in the woods? You ask yourself. And this is not a comedy. I guess you get that. How many men do you think we are here?
10%. And
That much? You heard about Rorschach tests, and I think this is like a Rorschach set design, because there are sort of things you can see in the sets. Martin just saw a fish.
Tack så jättemycket för att ni kom hit.
So the show is sort of, but we are going in here. Yes, it's a supermarket. Hopefully we'll be, hopefully we'll find a lot of stuff we like. Oh, look at that. It smells amazing in here. Wow. Where would we need to get baskets? Where do we get those? So quite possibly Martin found what he's looking for. Yes, there they are. Lovely. This is just tahini. Oh. This is a can of tahini. If you ever need a can of tahini, you know where to come. The difference between me and Martin is I take, you know, I walk one aisle and then I turn and then I go around and I do the whole shop. Martin is just like, you're like a chicken, aren't you? You're just running around.
yes,
Yes.
we have different kinds of strategies.
Yes, what's
Titta,
your strategy?
Is this coffee?
I don't think so, no. Well, you could buy it and think maybe it is.
I don't know.
I don't think it's coffee. Wouldn't it say coffee if it was coffee?
No, it's
After much running around, Martin finally found coffee.
köpa en sån här kanske.
I think you should.
Men vilken är bra då?
We're at the end station, so we're all alone. So the big takeaway is this big takeaway and that big takeaway with stuff we bought, right?
Yes.
Because the show wasn't all that.
No.
No. It's sort of, I think it was directed like it was a children's show. She was all on all the time. She used the same sort of energy throughout the show. And also the dramaturgy was sort of, I don't know, weird. There was no sort of straight line. So when she sort of suddenly wound up at the Alcoholics Anonymous, we sort of like, oh, okay. So this year I decided that I would not do a live if I did not like a story, or if I was bored. There's no use sort of talking about a show, and then I still talked about. Yeah, okay. So here's the thing: if I don't like anything about a show, I will talk about it live. But I feel that I might talk to you here and now. So the show is a monologue about a woman it's based on a book by a woman who realized she's an alcoholic. She moves with her husband. She's a writer in Sweden, and she moves with her husband to London. She got 2 kids, and she's supposed to write, and she drinks, and then she sort of spirals out of control, and then she stops drinking. So it's not a really interesting story, and when it's not really, well, it is an interesting story, but it's not told interestingly. So I think the dramaturg, the one who wrote the script, I guess, from the novel, didn't do a great job, because it was sort of like, it started when she was talking about, we know it's about an alcoholic because that's in the title. I'm so fun when I'm drinking wine. And she meets some friends at a bar. And then they're supposed to take a bus, and she says, why the bus? Oh, the bus says happy birthday. Let's take a picture of me. And then she says, oh, that's my husband, that's my kids, that's my friend, oh my God, this is an intervention. And then she realized, no, it's not. It's a birthday surprise party. And then she says, but 2 weeks after that, I went to AA, or the equivalent of. And you go sort of like, shouldn't there be some sort of drama? Something that made you, or at least dramatically written, that sort of like, I couldn't sleep that night. I kept thinking, am I alcoholic? Why would I blah, blah, blah? Something. Also, the actress, the direction wasn't very good. She was playing on the one note, very energetic the whole time. Like, when people are in kids' stories, here I am on a street, wondering what to do. And then I do this, and then happens this, and I do that. So I've seen a lot of shows about alcoholic. There's a great one, a monologue with Maggie Smith. You can find it on YouTube. It's called Bed Among the Lentils, about a priest's wife. She's an alcoholic, and no one knows that, we don't know that she's drinking. So she falls down and she falls asleep, and then suddenly you realize when she sort of stands up and said, hello, I'm an alcoholic, and they said, oh my God, she's been drinking all this time. That's a great script. Sorry, I had to stop talking because my phone was dying. I think the problem with the story is that the way it was told, because it has to be a book. You can write sort of blah, 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 blah. People put it away and come back and blah, blah, blah. A play you see in one go, so it has to have sort of an arc. And this one hadn't that kind of arc, so it was not well written, and the direction was sort of not to my. I wasn't surprised. I wasn't amused. I wasn't beguiled. It seemed like the person who sort of the one who wrote the play just took portion. Oh, this part is so good, and I take it as is, and I take this part as is, and it's sort of like, it was like sort of chapters, but they have nothing really to do. There was no sort of, it sort of like went like, you couldn't sort of like, where is this going? Where are we supposed to, what are we supposed to take from this scene here? What are we supposed to take away from this? Because when she was just, drunk, getting her kids to school, were we supposed to get something from that? Or was that just a glimpse of how she lived? Because no one noticed she was drunk, and she's sort of like, oh, no one noticed I was drunk. And they sort of like, so made that her drink more or less, or why was it there? But there was a scene I thought would sort of make it, when one of her kids asked, when Dad's away this weekend, can you please not drink? And these are sort of tiny tots. And she said, what? Well, of course I won't drink. And then you didn't know, did she drink anyway, or what? Was this just supposed to be a scene where sort of, what did that give her? Did she stop drinking? Did she get better at fooling her kids while she was drinking? Why? What came out of that? I think it would be really great if she sort of that scene, and then she thought, okay, my kid, because she had the same sort of scene with her father who killed himself. Because he was an alcoholic. And I thought that would be a great sort of turn about when the kids ask her, and that's sort of herself at that age, then she would sort of go to AA. But she didn't.
So long, dearie, dear.
Well, he was out of work. day. Then a friend from said, come right away, I'm moving on. I've got a new plan, but I don't know you'll be perfect. You're the dresser man.